Welcome back. I bet you're wondering why I'm wearing the stupid cowboy hat. It's because we're going to be shooting a stupid cowboy gun. This is a Marlin 1895, made by Ruger, so it's actually made right. And I have been told I look like Rip Wheeler, but I feel like I'm much better looking than that guy. So today, we're going to be taming the beast. We've got this Marlin 4570. I've got 3 different loads, and we're going to run them through a test fixture. Now this is a 150-year-old cartridge.
Almost as old as he is, folks.
Almost as old as me. Not that old. So this cartridge was used to kill buffalo. It's very suitable for killing any game on North America. And recently was used to kill dinosaurs in a movie by Chris Pratt, which has actually contributed to the popularity of this platform quite a bit. The loads that we're going to be trying today, we have a very pleasant subsonic load, a 340 grain hard cast flat point, running about 950 feet per second. It suppresses beautifully through this rugged 45 can and is a pleasure to shoot. We also have a mid-range load. This is a 300 grain round nose jacketed hollow point. And this bad boy is running at like 1,950 feet per second. This would be suitable for any game on North America. Grizzly bears, moose, elk, probably a little light for whitetail. I don't know. The hunters around here get a little crazy. And then finally, we have the beast right here. This is a 405 grain Remington jacketed soft point. And this thing is running at 1,737 feet per second. This should be a freight train in the air. This should be a penetration monster. Penetration, you ask? Why, that's what we're going to be testing. How will we be testing the penetration? Let me show you. We had our whole team of engineers at Evil Genius Armory come up with a test bed. And this is it right here. This is an 18-inch by 18-inch plywood box, 3 foot long, subdivided by 3/4-inch plywood squares. So we're going to fill the cavities between each square with sand. We're going to compact it so that it is consistent for each test, and then we're going to shoot each load through this test bed to see how deep it penetrates. Here's the sand we're going to be using. Ugh! It's heavy. And at the end, we have an AR-500 target in case one of these monsters manages to penetrate all that sand and get out the back. But just to up the ante, we have an entire handle of Eagle Rare 10-year bourbon, my very favorite. And it's going to set right here, dear viewers.
That's how much confidence he has in the stuff he gets up to at work.
My engineering team. He means to say my engineering team. So that's the test setup. The first thing we're going to test is the subsonic load. We're going to shoot it into the sand trap, see how far it penetrates, and recover the bullet, get a look at it. Then we're going to shoot the hunting load and see how much further it penetrates into the trap. And then finally, that airborne freight train T-Rex killer that Chris Pratt would have used. And likely, it will penetrate the entire sand trap, go through this wildly expensive bottle of bourbon, knock the steel plate over, and continue on into the next county. That's what we're thinking. So, that's next. All right, the first load we're going to test is this 340 grain flat nose running 950 feet per second. We've got our test bed all set up. We've got it level full of sand. This used 420 pounds of sand in it. I'll be surprised if this doesn't. I'll be surprised if this doesn't blow it clean off the table. All right, so we're all set up. Let's go back here and let's fire our first test shot. 340 grain flat nose, subsonic, into the sand trap. All right, let's see what we got. All right, let's get a look at how far the 340 grain subsonic hard cast bullet penetrated the box. Got a good hole in our front sheet. Now we're going to pull this sheet. Fixture's fighting us a little bit, but I think we got her figured out. So we're going to pull this front panel and see if we have a bullet in here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we can see that the bullet hit this next piece of plywood. So it penetrated one piece of 3/4 inch plywood. And look here, this sand is powdered where it was smashed against that plywood. So, see if we can find the bullet. I hope it didn't fall down. I'll have to dig it out. Oh no, I think it's in our pan. So I'm gonna have to sift through to find it. There we go.
Oh, wow. That
Look
was
at there. There's our 340 grain hard cast lead bullet. Incidentally, all ammunition provided by Citaspel Bench Company. Thank you, neighbor. So we can still see rifling on there. And man, that thing is in pretty good shape. It looks like it yawed a little bit, got a little bit of deformation on the side. But we penetrated one piece of 3/4 inch plywood and 3.5 inches of sand and smashed into that next piece of the 3/4 inch plywood. Let's reset the fixture, and then we'll try those 300 grain hunting loads and see how much further it penetrates. Now the Remington jacketed hollow point, running just over 1900 feet per second. How many sections do you think this is going to make it through? Put it in the comments now, see if you're right. Here we go. Woo! A little hotter. All right. 300 grain jacketed hollow point running 1900 feet per second. Let's see just how far this one made it. We've got our second hole. See that powdered sand? Did we make it into the second board?
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it.
Wow.
We're gonna have to fetch around in that sand and see if we found it. The sand trap is a stopping machine. All right. Well, let's see if we can find this bad boy.
Somewhere down here.
There's
Wow.
a piece, a little bit of lead. There's our jacketed hollow point. Completely full of powdered sand. And man,
Mangled.
this thing opened up and stopped. Just look at that. This is the front of the bullet. That's the back. Woo! What a monster. All right. We'll put it back together and see if that 405 grain jacketed soft point is able to make it into that next chamber. I think the Eagle Rare might be safe. Now, I was surprised by that hollow point. It did what it was supposed to do. It opened up and dumped its energy. But it actually didn't even make an impression on the second piece of plywood. But this is 405 grains. It is a soft point. It could expand and slow down. So, how many sections do you think this will make it through? I think this will at least make it into the second section. So, this thing has got a lot of energy. So, let's see what we're going to get. I'm going to put this one just to the right.
That
Woo.
sounded big.
Now we've got to find that 405 grainer. The 340 grain hard cast held together and hit the second barrier. The 300 grain hollow point absolutely expanded to death. We'll see what this 405 grainer does. Oh. See if we see any more of that powdered sand. There's our powdered
Yep.
sand where it crushed it,
Right there.
which would be where our bullet had come through. If it comes through, I would think. Oh no!
No!
There it is. It shucked its petals, completely shed all of the lead. Let's see if we can find the body of the bullet. There's some. Piece of lead.
More of that sand.
Piece of lead.
I want to see a firm dent on the back end of that other piece of plywood or I'm going to be upset. Are you kidding me?
Didn't touch it. So this is interesting commentary. The slowest, least powerful round,
Least powerful.
the 340 grain hard cast lead bullet, made by Citaspel Bench Company, actually penetrated farther in this medium. The other two bullets, while they were running at a higher velocity, and in theory had a lot more energy, and they did, came apart in this medium. In this medium, it doesn't mean it's going to penetrate. This isn't a good stand-in for meat, but in this medium, the slower hard cast lead penetrated the farthest, and that's interesting. Hey,
What the hell?
if it ain't Sid Spell Bench Company.
Yeah, that's it.
That's him right there.
All right, Tim. Which one penetrated farthest?
I would have to say that 405 one.
No.
Nope.
The cast.
The cast.
You're shitting me.
Nope.
Dude. So
You're shitting me.
that's where the cast bullet hit the second partition.
Nothing else even touched it.
There's the 300 grain hollow point.
I expected that.
There's the 405.
Son
Completely came apart.
of,
So now you've got a job.
son
I need a hard cast lead bullet running just as fast as we can safely run
I
it.
I can do that. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem at all.
Pretty cool. Dear viewers, I hope you didn't think I was going to leave you hanging like that with only one chamber penetrated. We're going to try a load that should penetrate a little bit deeper. That should have penetrated slightly deeper. All right, now hopefully this penetrated just a little bit deeper. Here's our 50 caliber hole, and if we look right here, we can see that powdered sand on this partition right here. But let's go ahead and pull this one. I'm reasonably certain we made it through, but you can't be sure. I was reasonably certain that the 4570 would make it through. So there's some of that powdered sand we've been seeing. And there's some jacket material right here stuck in that piece of plywood. And we do have a hole. It's not really a 50 caliber sized hole. See if we have any more debris here. More jacket material. Still hot. Kids, I think the lesson might be that dry sand's a pretty damn good bullet stopper.
Some more jackets there.
A little bit of stuff there. Oh, yep. A little bit more debris there. So, let's pull that second partition.
There's a lot of that sand.
Here's the hole where it came through. Looks like the bullet might have hit a little sideways when it came through. Wow, look at this. This is just powdered sand right here, where it's completely turned it to dust.
You can see where it smacked the crap out of that third one, but didn't
Yeah.
really go anywhere.
So we'll dig through here and see if we can come up with any bits of bullet. It's like being a little kid playing in the sandbox. Just with more expensive toys.
Is there rabbit crap in there?
It's usually cat shit that I found in mine. I think it basically disintegrated in the sand.
It just ripped itself to shreds.
Yeah, I think the lead was essentially pulverized. I was expecting to find some lead. I'll go through this a little more carefully and see if I can find anything, but I don't see it in here.
Yeah, it looks like conclusion here. If you're
Yeah.
gonna stop a bullet, use sand.
Yeah, box stops bullet's good. So I sifted completely through the sand, and this is all that I could recover of that 50 caliber round. That sand absolutely destroyed it. So I guess our new mission is to see if we can get something to penetrate deeper than that. Anyway, just thought you might like to see it. It's pretty cool. All right, so what did we learn? We learned that a slow-moving cast bullet can actually penetrate further than a higher velocity bullet. And that's not really to do with how fast it is to do with how fast the bullet's going, but it's a little counterintuitive. If a bullet's going fast enough, and the bullet construction isn't such that it can cope with those velocities when it hits whatever medium it's going to hit, they'll come apart. That's what happened with that 50 caliber. Tons of energy, tons, but it was so much that when it hit that sand, it came apart. It only penetrated 7 inches of sand and 2 pieces of plywood. It was just too much to contain itself inside that medium, so it blew itself apart. There was almost no lead left to be found. It was powdered. And the slower moving hard cast bullets, man, they're good penetrators. And 45-70, often overlooked, but never forgotten by me. This is just a fun gun. It's got lots of energy. And man, that big flat nose, that's a good killing bullet. If you're hunting big game, 45-70 is a good round. And just lots of fun. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And if you liked it, we'll goof around on the bullet trap a little bit more, see if we can come up with some hard cast lead bullets that'll take a little bit heavier velocity, and see if wouldn't it be cool if we could actually get a 45-70 to penetrate deeper than a 50 cal? That's worth trying out. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Catch you on the range next time.